basi baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuikagua gwaride, hivi sasa ni wakati wake parade komanda kumwomba idhini ili apate kuendelea na parade yake.
Anane contingent itakayopita mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rais itakuwa contingent ya kwanza. Wanaopita hivi sasa ni platoon ya 4. Platoon ya 8. Wanaopita hivi sasa ni platoon ya 4.
platoon ya 8. Platoon ya 9.
Mr. Kinyanjui, representatives of service commanders, 7,891 servicemen, and
Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, Cabinet Secretary Professor Margaret Kobia, CIS Rachel Shebesh, Governor present, members of the County Assembly, graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a great day for the National Youth Service. In conclude, Your Excellency, I know the enormous task of fighting corruption in this institution. With the leadership of the Ministry through the Cabinet Secretary, Professor Margaret Kobia, and the Principal Secretary, and thank you, Your Excellency, sir, that despite the many negative happenings at the National Youth Service, you have stood steadfast with the youth of this country. You have continuously to address the nation. I thank you.
join us this afternoon for the passing out of parade for the National Youth Service.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir.
Best recruit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Excellency, sir.
Best recruit in academics men. Service number 168.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir.
Best recruit in academics women. Service number 5594.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir.
Officer representing the best company.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir.
Officer representing the best company men. Personal number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir.
Baada ya kutunukiwa zawadi.
Before you today are 16,481 recruits comprising of 11,891 servicemen and 4,590 service women. This marks the highest ever group of recruits trained in this college. They reported at this college on 24th April 2018 and have undergone paramilitary training where they have been trained to be model youth, patriotic citizens, and reliable members of the community. The challenges which the service has experienced has not in any way affected the quality of training, discipline, and morale of the graduates. We thank the Almighty God for bringing us this far. This training will enable the graduates to be effective, efficient, and productive in handling development projects and enhancing service delivery to citizens across the country under the Big Four agenda.
Among these recruits who have before us, we have 21 persons living with disability. I'm satisfied that all these recruits have completed their paramilitary course and are now ready to move to the next phase of the national service. That will take them a year before they join the vocational training as per the 5-point vision so that they can contribute to the Agenda 4. Your Excellency, sir, as we instill good values like patriotism, discipline, and respect for human rights to the recruits, we also are alive to the new and emerging threats facing the youth and the society as a whole. And therefore, moving forward, to ensure we have safe places for youth to live in and do business, we are reviewing the paramilitary training to include topics on terrorism, cybercrime, and machine learning skills that are very appealing to the youth but can be a source of negative influence. The National Youth Service continues to offer auxiliary services to the National Police and the Kenya Defence Force, hence the need to equip the young men and women with skills to counter any security threat to the nation. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for having had time to join us today to witness the pass out of these recruits. They joined the paramilitary course with the hope of unleashing their potential in the service. This is because NYS continues to offer hope to many youths who come from disadvantaged backgrounds to acquire skills through training, skills that eventually enable them get out of poverty and unfortunate situations. As they get employed employment, and some become self-reliant after completing their stint at the NYS. I also want to thank you, Your Excellency, sir, that despite the many negative happenings at the National Youth Service, you have stood steadfast with the youth of this country. You have continuously seen the bigger picture, that of empowerment of the youth of this nation. We sincerely thank you. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I know the enormous task of fighting corruption in this institution. With the leadership of the Ministry through the Cabinet Secretary, Professor Margaret Kobia, and the Principal Secretary and the CIS, all systems are now in place, and we will stay the course, because integrity must and should be our rallying call when discharging the responsibilities you have bestowed upon us.
It is an honor to have you, Your Excellency, join us this afternoon for the passing out of parade for the National Youth Service. Your presence here serves as a great inspire to inspire these young men and women as they prepare to face the next phase of their lives. This parade is an important milestone for the more than 16,000 recruits who have undergone rigorous paramilitary training and who are now due to proceed to national service and thereafter vocational training. Allow me, sir, to congratulate the graduates for completing the program, and now also thank the Director General, the Commandant of this institution, the Permanent Secretary, for a job well done. In line with your vision of national unity, the paramilitary training phase of the National Youth Service Program has the effect of integrating youth from all parts of the Republic. Further, I am happy to report to you, sir, the National Youth Service has continued to contribute effectively to the national development by skilling thousands of Kenyan youth in the trade and in craft necessary for vital sectors of our economy. I wish to assure you, sir, that despite the area management operational challenges that we faced, the service remains fit to continue leading effort of empowering the youth for national development. Sir, the National Youth Service was established to train youth to participate in national development projects. Therefore, Your Excellency, the service continues to take advantage and reap the benefit of the Deliver as One model under your leadership, where all ministries and government agencies work in harmony to deliver on government agenda and priorities. In this regard, sir, I wish to thank Ministries of Interior and National Government Coordination, Ministry of ICT, Ministry of Environment, and the Ministry of Defense for their support and collaboration with the National Youth Service. I look forward to our continued interagency partnership as we jointly work to improve the lives of Kenyans and create more opportunities for the youth. In conclusion, Your Excellency, I thank you for unconditional commitment and the dedication to empowering the youth nationally and globally.
The institution continues to see a rising number of youths pass out. Today, before us, we have over 16,000 young men and women, the biggest ever single intake. And today marks the end of a rigorous training program. I take this opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you for successfully completing your program. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have said in the past, we do not champion the cause of youth opportunity and hope as a favor, but rather as the necessary, undeniable embrace of our collective future. And that is why we are called to give every one of our young people the chance to make the most of their talents. This indeed is the spirit of the focus of my administration's Big Four agenda. During the last parade, I did direct that the NYS should hasten its commercialization agenda, and I know that the service has not always found it easy in this context. But I must urge you to stay the course. The service must be self-reliant while playing a key role in furthering our Big Four agenda. Our confidence in the National Youth Service supporting the Big Four agenda is based on the knowledge that this institution has the most critical factor in production. It has energetic, intelligent, young men and women ready to work. To meet the demands of the Big Four agenda, we need skilled men and women. Skilled especially in the technical competencies which are absolutely vital. So the NYS will certainly play a significant role in the success of the Big Four, not least in contributing to the two key pillars, largely manufacturing and food security. All the more reason then to hasten the commercialization agenda, as it will not only provide this institution with the capacity to train market-ready graduates with required skills, but also to have the capacity to create jobs for thousands of our young men and women. Ladies and gentlemen, there are substantial successes on which we can look back to. So far, we have trained over 15,000 young men and women. And the trainees have contributed immensely to nation building in various ways, either in disaster and humanitarian relief responses, or in security and other such public duty. Equally, they have also taken to garment production, and following my directive, the uniforms of our defense forces are now being produced by the service, and also the uniforms of the Kenya Police Service will also now be produced by this service. I am also informed that other institutions, such as county governments, are engaging the service also in garment production. I am also pleased to note that the institution has also rolled out a program to produce cotton on some of its land. Indeed, the pilot program on a 300-acre farm has returned promising results. So let me commend the Cabinet Secretary and her team and the NYS management for taking up these initiatives, and I encourage you to continue expanding them. What you're doing in Lambwe Valley, Hindi, Witu camps has given us confidence that you will go far. We expect as a result of this initiative a significant increase in cotton production in Kenya and more encouraging provision of hands-on skills to the servicemen and women. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed the reason why we are here today, to celebrate the transition of these young men and women from recruits to service men and women. In so doing, we are tasked with the responsibility of empowering them in all spheres of life and ensuring that they become responsible adults capable of contributing to the nation that nurtured them. Some of you will serve on NYS farms, others in garment production, yet others in security. In short, you will serve the nation as your predecessors have done. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your dedication and the patriotism and the service that you have shown thus far. And I ask you to continue in this way, even in your new responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all aware that this institution has faced challenges in its quest to realize its mandate and meet the demands of today's youth. And to ensure that the service is able to continue in its agenda of empowering our young men and women, we are implementing a raft of measures that we strongly believe will reposition the NYS to perform its job with more vigor of integrity. I am happy to inform you today that as part of the actions we are taking, a draft NYS Bill 2018 is before the National Assembly, and I encourage the National Assembly to fast-track its approval. The NYS needs stronger structures for its oversight, which structures the bill provides for. Let us pass it now and have it enacted. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing my remarks, let me express my thanks to the many thousands of parents and guardians, many who are here today, for entrusting your sons and daughters to public service. To them we say, Asanteni sana. And today, I share your pride in what your sons and daughters have been able to achieve. I also commend all the young men and women here today for your achievement. If you hold fast to the lessons you have learned, the patriotism, the love of work, and the spirit of service, you will indeed succeed. And most importantly, you will have repaid the faith that your country and we as your parents have shown in you. So as of today, go forth and serve your country. Kwa kufunga, I just want to say 2 words. When we see these young men and women before us who have committed themselves to serving the nation, it is with deep regret when we see certain individuals who take resources that are meant to facilitate these young men and women and divert it to personal use. And this is something that we will not entertain. And I want to take this opportunity to promise you today that we will do everything in our power to ensure that all of those who have taken resources meant for the development of our young people, they will pay the price and those resources will be returned. And I want to encourage you, Madam Acting DG, and your management team. We will not and we cannot continue to allow this kind of behavior. Lakini, we must ensure that we utilize the resources that the Kenyan taxpayer has given us for the benefit of the people of this republic. Most importantly, these young men and women in front of us, and the many thousands, millions in Kenya today. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, mimi nasema Mungu awalinde, mkitekeleza kazi zenu mbalimbali, na Mungu ailinde taifa letu la Kenya.